So I woke up at, well, technically 3:05, but it was like a quick bathroom run. It's very cold, 25 degrees, and I went back in the room, laid back down, instantly fell asleep. But I was like super thirsty when I woke back up, which I thought it was like 2 hours had passed. It was only 3:51. So I decided to stay up because I know like anytime between 3 and 5, I'm up. I like to pray for the world. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but something in me just wants to pray for the world. And then I usually don't get up during that time and get on any social media apps outside of like YouTube. But I decided to get on, and a high school buddy of mine sent me a video, and this girl was talking about covenant and jurisdiction and operating illegally in the spirit, which I found very ironic because it was something that prior to going to sleep, I legitimately was writing down. Last year, I intentionally and consciously have been navigating through the spirit, right? And what I mean by that is submitting my ways to God even when I fall short, and bringing any and everything I'm thinking and feeling and reading and seeing to the Bible, because I noticed that there is a modern answer in this old book. And what I love about these books, these collection of books we know as the Bible, it has caused me to reevaluate my stance in the spiritual and how that shows up in the physical. And that realization has allowed me the opportunity to change and grow and put down who I thought I was as far as like my intentions of becoming the type of woman I wanted to become, and see me the way he sees me. And a lesson I learned last year is delayed obedience is still disobedience. And the video that my homie sent to me when she was talking about like jurisdiction and law, I thought it was so crazy because it was like she was taking the words out of my mind. It's something that I have been expressing to people for the last few years in the privacy of my world, right? And how literally the Bible taught me the law, how to be in the law, how to learn the law, how to see the law differently. It's the cause of why I started Free Water many years ago, if y'all follow me on Snapchat, and it's the cause of why I did many things. The value in learning spiritual jurisdiction helped really break down how we show up in this world we live in. But anyway, I like the girl, I like the message, I like how clearly she broke it down, I like the scriptures that she used. It was a part of a lot of my study, right? A lot of the same scriptures. So I'm like, man, when God wants a message out, he's going to put a message out. In this January, something I realized was like, there was 2 things I didn't do, right? And once I didn't do those things, it's like when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, things flow. Like if I get a nudge, I don't even care if it's like something as small as go to the sauna. If I go to the sauna when I have the nudge to go to the sauna, I get a clearer view of what's the next step. If I don't go to the sauna because I don't feel good, it's like the rest of my day is kind of blurry. I don't know what next thing to do. And I end up filling my time with other stuff. And then when I look back at the end of the day or at the end of the night, I think about, and it's been coming more clear to me, which this is where I see grace and mercy. It's been coming more clear to me like, dang, if I would have did this at this time, I wonder where I would be right now, because this is how I started to see the difference between obedience and it's the difference between expedient obedience, like doing it when you feel it, doing it later on, or not doing it at all. The first time I experienced me feeling like I was being taught delay obedience is still disobedience was last year when I first started on this journey. And I started what I called a fast, but I was like, I don't want to call it that because I want to change my life. I don't want to have a time to start and stop. So I'm just going to do every day the same way until I develop a consistent routine. And that actually worked for me until, this is the very funny part. And hindsight is always 2020. That worked for me until I gathered around people that prior to the day I gathered around those people, everything about the walk was pointing me away from those people. But it wasn't anything bad. It was more about time alone with God, reshaping, reframing my relationship and my vision and my heart. And what I mean by my vision is like how I'm seeing the world, how I'm seeing me show up in the world, as in how I'm speaking to people, how I'm thinking about conversations I'm having with people, how I'm receiving. God was reshaping my eyes. And if you know me, I think that all things kind of like coincide and happen for a reason. And it was so ironic due to some other things. And the thing that made this clear was I was on the walk with him for about 40 days. Dreams were becoming more vivid. I could tell that I was having authority in the spiritual world, not just because of the dreams, but because of what was happening in my life, like in my world. And when I say that, it was when I got around certain people, it was not anything bad. When I say that, it's like once I got around them, I got into a comforted position, and nothing they did pulled me out of the comfort. It was who I was showing up for these people, why I showed up for them, how I showed up for them. It's like that came back to me. And those things, although not harmful at all to the people, was harmful to my walk because it caused me to step back in to a role, a position, and like an identity God was pulling me out of, right? And because I was feeling so good on this walk, I thought, hey, what's a day or two? And that day, slowly but surely, it's like it started taking nicks at my armor after that. Because it's like I showed up in pictures, I didn't like how I was looking, right? I was around and I spent money I didn't necessarily want to spend. And it wasn't even a lot of money. And it's not even abnormal for me to do that. It was the fact that I had just lost so much. Literally, maybe a month before I showed up with these people, like to the people. It's crazy how this all transpired.